Hello, good people, once again. Got a comment recently asking about the base map. No, not base camp, the base map. The question was on a vintage model like a nuvi 260. Well, if I change the base map, will that improve performance? And the answer is no, because it's used as a fallback map. And I said, you know what? This makes for a good video because I get to actually explain what the base map is. And this goes all the way back to the Garmin Street Pilot. Now I'm going to show you something. We have a DriveSmart 65 with Alexa here. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, you're looking at, obviously, the map. But if I go to settings and I go to my maps and I just uncheck everything so that there are no maps selected, and I go back, I'm still seeing roads. Why? Well, the answer is that this fell back to the base map. Now, what the base map is, if I go to a two-dimensional view here and I just zoom back, it is, in effect, a skeleton map, so to speak, of just major roadways. Mostly highways. Like this one, yeah, well, this one is a road, but that's a major road. And we see 2499 here, 121, I-35, Beltline Road. And you also get to see the major points for, that's a town right there, Farmers Branch. If I go back a little further, oh hey, look, traffic report. There's Wiley, Plano, Frisco, Colony, McKinney, and so on. Anyway, there is no map selected right now. And if I zoom in, yeah, there's no detail. It's only showing the major roads. And that is what the base map looks like. You have nothing but major roads on here. And if I go back even further, and it does cover the world, by the way. Which is why, like, I'll just show Florida here. But let's do one even better. Let's go over to Great Britain. Now, as you see there, it's showing roads. I don't even have UK maps in here. This is all base map. Now, obviously, London is more intricate than this, but we have the major roadways, all the A roads, and such. And that is what the base map looks like. The base map, last I knew, is somewhere between 50 and 100 megabytes. Very small. Very small. And the first time I actually used the base map was with a Garmin Street Pilot i3. And that damn voice thing. Is with the Garmin Street Pilot i3. Let me actually turn that off. Actually, you know what? I'll do one better. Let me just do it this way. There we go. Microphone off. That's what I wanted. Zoom out a little bit. Was with this Garmin Street Pilot i3. I was coming back from Indiana, I believe, back to the Northeast. And what happened was back in those days, I only had a, what was it? Either a 128 megabyte, not gigabyte, or a 256 megabyte, again, not gigabyte, memory card. And what I did is I drove to Indiana and I stuffed as much map data as I could into it. However, when on the trip back from Indiana back to the Northeast, where I was at the time, I had to go off map, meaning I went outside of the installed map data that was on the device. So what this did, well, not this, the i3, what it did is that it fell back to the base map. It got me onto the highway, I believe around about the New York area, somewhere around there, and then back up to the northeast. And then it seamlessly connected back to the installed map data, and then I was able to get back to where I needed to go. Because I had noticed driving back, and this is 2005, back when the earth was new, man was young, and dirt was still warm. Okay, maybe not that long ago, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I had to go off the installed data into the base map data, and it did work. It totally did work. And that's what happens if you were... Now, this isn't really a problem these days because, I mean, we all have the entire United States in here, and if you have something like this, which is a DriveSmart 65, or pretty much any nuvi from the last 10 years, you have the entire United States, Canada, and Mexico. So there's really no danger of going off the installed data. But it's still there anyway. It's the base map, and the file is called if I remember, Gmap Bmap, I think, .img, Gmap Bmap. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called that. And it will either be a 50 megabyte or something like under 100 megabytes or something like that. Let me just put the regular maps back here. Yeah, if you want to look at this for yourself on your Garmin, remember to re-enable your maps when you're done. Whether you are using OpenStreetMap or whether you... and see all the detail came back. Whether you are using OpenStreetMap or regular Garmin issued HERE maps. Yeah, so it's a holdover from the days of old, but the thing is, the interesting thing is that even if you have let's just say you get a Garmin at a thrift store, or some other, you acquire some other Garmin device and it does not have maps installed on it, well, technically it does, unless someone specifically went in there and deleted the Gmap Bmap file, which almost no one does. It's in this .system folder. That's where you'll find it on most Garmin devices. Unless someone specifically went in there and deleted it, it will always have the base map. I mean, can you route with it? Well, technically, yes. Should you? No, not really. It should just be used as a point of reference, just so you can see where you are. Like, for example, let's just say you do have one of those Garmins that does not have the big map installed and only has the base map. Well, I would just go to navigation and change the calculation mode to off-road. So what happens is that it will just make a line, just a as the crow flies line, because I can't route by street data. I mean, I technically could by highways, I guess, but it's not going to get me to any specific address. So I would just do the off-road method and say, okay, just tell me where to go. And then after that, what I would do is set my, I believe it's also here. Yeah, I would set it just to a north up view. Yep, so I have like a paper map style view. So it looks like this. And then say, okay, and it will draw a line, and then you can just, zoom it out like this. And, oh, hey, look, heavy traffic on 114. Oh, my God. Sorry, sidetrack there. So you have your straight line going wherever it needs to go, and then you just follow the map. And then you can just, manually zoom in when you get close to the location. And such. So you could technically still use this thing even with just a base map. But now you know what it is. So, yes, it is technically hidden data in the .system folder, Gmap Bmap.img. The last thing I will talk about is that there are different versions of the base map. Should you change it? Well, No, no, I wouldn't. You could grab the Bmap, the base map from, say, this 65 and put it even in a nuvi 260 if you wanted to, because it technically is an unlocked map. You could do it, but will it work right? Yeah, I don't know that part. I have not actually tested that, nor will I. I don't know, because I just use OpenStreetMap if I need to get map data, or I just update maps. That's the way that I do it. Because I don't know what a newer revision of the base map, like say on this one, I don't know how that would act on a vintage Garmin. I'm sure it would work. I'm sure it would. Meh. But how well would it work? Well, that I don't know. Maybe I'll test that later. But anyway, now you know what the base map is, and now you know why map data even shows up when there's no maps installed, because technically there always was one.